If the numbers are supposed to tell the truth, why do the categories keep changing right when Caitlin Clark's name should be at the top? Before we go any further, stay with me, because this is one of those stories where the headline looks simple, but the full context changes everything. And if you want more fact-based WNBA breakdowns like this, subscribe now, because by the end of this script, you may look at milestone graphics very differently. Let's get straight into it. A lot of fans started asking the same question after, and other major outlets highlighted Olivia Miles for a series of fastest player milestones during her rookie season. On the surface, that sounds straightforward. Olivia Miles has absolutely been sensational. She has been one of the biggest stories in the league. She has put up real numbers, and she has earned major praise for her play. But the debate is not really about whether Olivia Miles is talented. The real debate is whether the way these milestone graphics were framed gave fans the full picture, especially when Caitlin Clark already owns one of the most important benchmark records in this conversation. Here is the verified part first. Caitlin Clark became the fastest WNBA player to reach 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists, doing it in 19 games. Explicitly said, she broke the previous fastest mark, and Indiana's official team coverage also recognized that milestone during her rookie season. That matters, because once you know that record exists, every later fastest player graphic starts demanding more context. Now here is where the conversation gets interesting. In 2026, Olivia Miles was officially credited with becoming the first WNBA player to reach 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists in 22 games. His reporting was very clear on that specific milestone, and that is a legitimate accomplishment. So let's be fair right here. Olivia Miles does not need fake praise. She does not need invented records. She is already having a real historic rookie season. Also highlighted that she was leading the Lynx in scoring and assists early in the year, averaging 18.5 points, 5.7 assists, and 4.8 rebounds through 20 games, while becoming an all-star starter as a rookie. That part is not up for debate, but here is where fans got suspicious. When one network graphic celebrates 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists, and another celebrates 350 points with 100 assists, and another focuses on 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists, fans naturally start asking a basic question. Are we tracking one consistent standard, or are we rotating categories depending on who we want to spotlight? That is the heart of the controversy. Not jealousy, not hate, not disrespect toward Olivia Miles. Context. Because in sports, context is everything. A stat can be true and still be incomplete. A milestone can be real and still be presented in a way that changes how fans interpret history. And that is exactly why this story blew up among WNBA fans who pay attention to game logs, box scores, and wording. Think about it like this. If one player holds the fastest mark for 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists, and another player later gets promoted for a different combination, like 350 points and 100 assists, that is not automatically wrong. But it does raise the standard for explanation. Why that category? Why that cutoff? Why that version of the milestone? Why that moment? Those are fair questions, especially when fans are comparing two players who both generated huge attention in their rookie seasons. And this is what separates casual reaction from serious analysis. The serious question is not, did Olivia Miles earn recognition? She did. The serious question is, did viewers get the full hierarchy of the records? Because if the audience sees a graphic saying fastest player without understanding that Caitlin Clark already owns a closely related benchmark, many people will walk away believing something broader than what was actually proven. That is how confusion starts. And once confusion starts on a major platform, it spreads fast. This is also why Caitlin Clark remains such a lightning rod name in women's basketball. Her career is no longer just about her own stat line. Every comparison involving her turns into a larger debate about framing, coverage, and who gets presented as the face of the moment. And to understand why fans react so strongly, you have to remember just how absurd Clark's rookie year really was. The WNBA officially recognized Caitlin Clark as the 2024 Rookie of the Year after she averaged 19.2 points, a league-high 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds across all 40 regular season games. She set the WNBA single-season assists record with 337, set the rookie scoring record with 769 points, and set the rookie three-point record with 122 made threes. WNBA, read that again. League high assists as a rookie, single season assists record as a rookie, rookie scoring record, rookie three-point record. That is not normal production. That is record book production. So when fans believe Clark's place in history is being blurred, minimized, or selectively compared, they are not reacting out of nowhere. They are reacting because her actual resume is already massive, and the official records back that up. And there is one more important point here. You do not need to accuse anyone of a conspiracy to say a graphic lacked full context. Sometimes the issue is not fabrication. Sometimes the issue is framing. That distinction matters. Because once you start throwing around claims like they are erasing history, you need airtight proof. And in this case, the strongest version of the argument does not need exaggeration at all. The strongest version is much simpler. Caitlin Clark officially owns the fastest mark to 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. Olivia Miles officially owns the first to 400 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists in 22 games milestone recognized by. Both of those things can be true. But if fans are shown one without being reminded of the other, the conversation becomes incomplete. And incomplete sports storytelling always creates backlash. Now, here is where this gets even more interesting. This is bigger than two players. It is really about how modern sports audiences process information. Most fans do not sit there checking archived box scores after every broadcast. Most fans do not compare old milestones side by side. Most fans trust the graphic. That trust is powerful, and that is why wording matters so much. If a network says fastest player, people hear dominance. If a graphic flashes across social media, people assume the homework has already been done. If the category is unusual, hyper-specific, or constantly changing, casual fans usually do not stop to ask why. But the most dialed-in fans do ask why. And when they ask enough times, suddenly the debate is no longer about one stat card. It becomes about credibility. That is why this story has so much traction. Because fans are not only debating Olivia Miles versus Caitlin Clark, they are debating whether major sports coverage is giving them clean context. And once that trust gets questioned, every future graphic gets examined harder. That is the long-term effect. Now, let me be crystal clear again. Nothing in this takes away from Olivia Miles. She has had a brilliant rookie year. She has already earned real history. She has already earned national attention. And if she keeps building on this start, she is going to have a huge place in the league for a long time. But giving Olivia Miles her flowers should never require muddying what Caitlin Clark already did. That is the line many fans feel got crossed. Not because Olivia Miles was celebrated, but because some of the comparisons were not explained deeply enough. And in today's media environment, shallow framing gets exposed fast, especially when the audience is paying close attention. Now ask yourself this. If the exact same wording had been used for Caitlin Clark first and then later adjusted when another rookie arrived, would people still call that clean coverage? That is the question sitting underneath this whole story, because consistency is what makes records feel legitimate. If the benchmarks are clear, fans accept them. If the benchmarks keep shifting, fans start wondering what story is really being sold. And once that question enters the room, every graphic stops looking neutral. That is why this debate refuses to die. It is not only about what was posted, it is about what was left unsaid. And in sports media, what gets left unsaid can be just as important as what makes the screen. So the fairest conclusion is this. Olivia Miles deserves recognition for a phenomenal rookie season and for the verified milestones she actually reached. Caitlin Clark still owns one of the most important official benchmark records in this debate as the fastest WNBA player to hit 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists in 19 games. And fans were right to ask for clearer context when those two realities started getting blended, sliced, or presented in ways that sounded bigger than the exact record being discussed. That is the real story. Not fake outrage, not blind fan wars, not disrespect toward one rookie to protect another. The real story is that wording shapes legacy, and in a league growing this fast, legacy debates are only going to get louder. And here is the part you should keep watching closely. If another milestone graphic drops soon, fans are not just going to react to the number. They are going to react to the category. They are going to react to the wording. They are going to react to who gets named and who gets left out. Because now people are watching the framing as much as the stat itself. So the next graphic might not just celebrate a player. It might reopen this entire debate all over again. Subscribe if you want the next breakdown, because this conversation is not ending here, and the next stat card could be the one that makes this story even bigger.